The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
Hello there and welcome in on Spartan Sports Report. I'm Justin Allegri. San Jose State football 1-2 following their 35-21 loss on the road at Oregon State last week. We'll recap that game with San Jose State head coach Ron Caragher, and we'll also preview the rivalry game at home this weekend on Saturday against Fresno State. Plus, our reporter Jonathan Wold will have the story of the rivalry over the decades. All that to come on Spartan Sports Report, but first let's go back to the highlights at Oregon State.
San Jose State taking on Pac-12 opponent Oregon State for the first time since 1997. First drive of the game for San Jose State, and Kenny Potter announced as the starting quarterback for the Spartans. He would be consistent, completing to Tyler Winston for a first down. Then off a play action, he has time and protected to deliver to tight end Billy Freeman on a great play for the ball for 21 yards and setting up first down from the 21-yard line. 2 plays later, it's Tyler Irvin finishing the opening drive, sprinting in from 4 yards out and giving San Jose State a 7-0 lead. The Beavers also came out ready and early. On their first possession, quarterback Seth Collins throws off the back foot to running back Storm Woods, who catches and runs for 16 yards down to the San Jose State 4-yard line. The next play would see Collins running it into the end zone to tie the game up at 7. The first play of the second quarter, Kenny Potter went down with an injury, had to be helped off the field. Just after that, a punt to Ramel Dockery. He drops it and it is recovered by Shane Smith at the Beaver 6-yard line. Big turnover for Oregon State. Now with Gray in at the quarterback position, he would hand off to Tyler Irvin. On one play, the Spartans score after the turnover. Irvin's second of the half, making it 14-7. But Collins kept on it with his legs all day long, running it out on this left draw and taking it 30 yards to the San Jose State 19-yard line, his longest run of the day. From there, back to the ground game, and it was for the score with Woods on a 13-yard run, finding the hole and getting into the end zone, tying the game at 14. After a punt, Oregon State gets it back, and on the first play of the drive, Collins boots out. He is under pressure, he throws it, and a wonderful interception is made by Cleveland Wallace, keeping a foot in bounds for his first interception of the year. So the Spartans got a short field again, and Irvin takes it on an 11-yard carry for first down to the 5-yard line. Then Joe Gray keeps the play alive in the pocket. After it collapses, he runs out to the right, connects with Tyler Winston sliding in the back quarter of the end zone for the touchdown. His first reception of a touchdown this season, and the score was 21-14 San Jose State. Beavers would make a push to score before halftime, though. Collins to Jordan Villeman for a first down into San Jose State territory. Then after a long chess match of timeouts, Garrett Owens for 48 yards, a field goal try, but he misses it wide to the left. San Jose State has a halftime lead 21-14. The second half, however, belonged to the Beavers. Storm Woods had a lot to do with it too, rushing here for 38 yards. 5 plays later, a strange sight to see. The first passing touchdown against the Spartans defense this year, a post throw to Villeman tying the game at 21. Then a mishandled punt snap would lead to this draw from Collins, giving Oregon State the lead for the first time in the game, 28-21. Just 3 plays later, Gray under pressure. He throws late and over the middle. Caleb Palau is there for the shoestring interception catch. He takes it back 41 yards along the near side of the field for the pick 6. And just like that, the Spartans were down 2 scores very quickly. Spartans would have the whole fourth quarter to mount a comeback, but just couldn't get it going, bringing Malik Watson in, the third-string quarterback, who is hit hard and throws a lobbed ball that would be pulled down by Ricky Ortiz, the interception. That would about do it for San Jose State. They go down at Oregon State 35-21. The final score, San Jose State falls to 1-2 on their year. Seth Collins, 13 of 25 for 135 yards in the air and a touchdown. 16 carries for 114 yards on the ground with 2 scores. Kenny Potter looked great in the first quarter that he played in before the injury. He was 8 of 9 for 72 yards. Tyler Irvin once more having a great game, 7 yards shy of 100 on the ground with 2 scores. And then Tyler Winston with his first touchdown reception of the year, 50 yards total on 5 receptions for Winston. Oregon State victorious, though, 35-21.
Time now for this week's Lexus Drive of the Game. And for the Drive of the Game, we'll go back to Corvallis and the opening drive for San Jose State.
Let's get right to it. Irvin gets the opening kickoff and takes it 18 yards on the return to set up the drive for San Jose State at the 25-yard line. Potter then connects to Tyler Winston over the middle for a 13-yard gain and a first down to the 31. Then it's out to Irvin on a screen pass, who turns it upfield for 5 yards. After that, a handoff to Irvin would give the Spartans their second first down of the drive, and they were marching. The big play of the drive, though, comes to tight end Billy Freeman, who hauls it in before falling out of bounds and picks up 21 yards on the reception to the Oregon State 21-yard line. Then on a play-action fake, Potter gets it to Tim Crawley quickly on the far side of the field, who tiptoes the line for 7 yards to the 14-yard line. Right back to the ground game, and Tyler Irvin for 10 yards, right up the gut, setting up first and goal from the 4-yard line. No time wasted, right back to Irvin into the end zone for the Spartans as Irvin leads the way. His 5th rushing touchdown of the year. Overall, the drive lasted 10 plays, going 75 yards in 4 minutes and 47 seconds. And that is this week's Lexus Drive of the Game, brought to you by your Northern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. On to this week's Player of the Game, brought to you by Bay 101 Casino. For the 3rd week in a row, it's Tyler Irvin, the running back, who once again racked up the stats in this game. Irvin got the ball 21 times on the ground, accumulating 93 yards, 7 yards shy of his 3rd straight 100-yard rushing game. He also got into the end zone twice in the game on the ground and received 6 passes for 30 yards. For his effort this week, he is Bay 101 Casino's Player of the Game. Bay 101 Casino, San Jose's place to play. Now on to the Kinder's Barbecue Mountain West scoreboard, and some big games going on this weekend, but a lot of losses again for the Mountain West Conference team. Michigan beats UNLV 28-7. Arizona State over New Mexico. Air Force, very tough game on the road at Michigan State, but they do lose 35-21. Texas A&M taking care of Nevada 44-27. A couple other scores in overtime. Colorado State loses to Colorado. San Diego State upset by South Alabama in San Diego 34-27, and Wyoming losing their 3rd game of the year at Washington State 31-14. That's a look at some of the scores from around the Mountain West Conference last week, brought to you by Kinder's Barbecue.
We'll take our first break here on Spartan Sports Report. When we return, Jonathan Wold will have the story of the rivalry between San Jose State and Fresno State. More to come when we return.
With millions of businesses all in one place, the YP app can help you do pretty much anything. But can it get you to the moon? You'll need a space helmet. YP can do that. You'll need the highest rated hardware stores. Check. YP even has a cheap gas finder, which is perfect for longer trips. The even more powerful, so much more than a search engine Yellow Pages. YP can do that.
Some things are not what they appear to be. Other things are exactly what they appear to be. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. As aggressive as it looks. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
Welcome back here on Spartan Sports Report. This weekend on Saturday, San Jose State and Fresno State will be playing for the 79th time in their storied history. Jonathan Wold will have the story of this rivalry.
Truly, it was our arch rival when we were here at San Jose State. I literally have no red in my entire closet because of Fresno State.
There was nobody on this campus that didn't hear from one of our athletes take off that red shirt.
When SJSU hosts Fresno State on Saturday, it'll be the 79th meeting between the teams, making the rivals each other's most common opponents. In fact, the rivalry is so old, it actually predates the Spartan name. The first meeting in this series took place way back on November 19th, 1921, at Fresno. San Jose State Teachers College defeated Fresno State Normal School 14-2. At that time, San Jose State's nickname was the Teachers. That's right, the San Jose State Teachers College Teachers. Things stayed pretty even in the series until the mid-70s, where the Spartans would dominate, winning 12 of 15 matchups. That run would be capped off with a pair of Spartan wins in 1986 and 1987. In 1986, Mike Perez and SJSU knocked off the 19th-ranked Bulldogs, 45-41.
We ended up coming back with I think it was a little over a minute left, and scored 2 touchdowns. Mike threw a touchdown to Lafo Mala'ulu with Jethro Franklin hanging onto his leg. And the epitome of a rivalry game, because we set an NCAA record for the most penalties in a single game. Well, 87 game was known as the towel waving game. Coach Claude Gilbert, our head football coach, got into it a little bit with the other coach, Jim Sweeney, and they were both waving towels back and forth at each other, and Jim, got Claude riled up, and it got the fans riled up, and we ended up winning that game as well.
He can do it all. There's Mike Perez going deep, wide open is Liggins. He has it at the 35. It's a foot race, and Guy Liggins will win. Touchdown, 75 yards.
The 1990s were a very different story for the rivalry. Fresno State took full control with a 12-year winning streak. This streak was finally broken by the 2006 Spartans, on their way to the New Mexico Bowl.
We started the game off going to John Broussard, who John Broussard is probably one of the fastest guys that I've ever played with. And I think it was like an 80-yard touchdown. I think that was my first pass of the game. It was almost like a reaction out of me where I don't expect somebody to be that open. And you went, okay, there it is, there it is. Oh, there it is.
Tafrala's had a banner day with 3 touchdowns through the air and a career-high 76 yards rushing. It was the defense that really stepped up that day, though, with 4 interceptions. Final score, San Jose State 24, Fresno State 14. Representing both the Santa Clara and San Joaquin Valleys, the Valley Trophy was introduced in 2013, and the stage could not have been bigger. With a 10-0 record on the line for the 16th-ranked Bulldogs, 2 future NFL quarterbacks, Derek Carr and David Fales, found themselves in a shootout. Fales would win that duel for the Spartans as he threw for 547 yards with 6 touchdowns in the air and 1 more on the ground. A late interception by Keith Smith helped the Spartans clinch the victory 62-52, spoiling Fresno State's perfect season and a bid for a BCS Bowl. 3 Spartan receivers finished with over 140 yards, including Tyler Winston, who had 10 catches for 164 yards and a touchdown.
I was pretty new to the rivalry, being a freshman, so I didn't really know exactly how big it was until I actually started playing in the game. And it's just a great opportunity to play in this rivalry because it's fun. Fresno brings a lot of fans here, we bring a lot of fans there, and it's just, especially now with the Valley Cup trophy, just makes it even bigger. But San Jose Fresno is just probably the biggest game of the year for both teams.
With the Spartans and Bulldogs playing in the same division in the Mountain West, I think we can expect many more chapters in this storied rivalry. Not to mention a continued lack of red in Spartan closets. For Spartan Sports Report, I'm Jonathan Wold. Back to you, Justin.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. When we return here on Spartan Sports Report, Coach Caragher will be in studio to talk about the Oregon State game. More to come when we return.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup honors the nation's best overall collegiate athletic program in each division, men's and women's sports. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook. Find us in USA Today, online, and on Twitter at LS Directors Cup. Over 2 decades of excellence, the Learfield Sports Directors Cup.
Welcome back here on Spartan Sports Report. Now talking with San Jose State head coach Ron Caragher. And Coach, it's just an odd circumstance here. You get your starting quarterback. He looks great in the first half, goes down with an injury. So in one regard, frustrating, but another, nice to see you found your starter.
Yes, correct. I thought Kenny answered the call. We based on last week's game and then what we saw early in the week of practice, we thought Kenny was going to be our starting quarterback, and he did. He did a great job. First drive, went down, scored a touchdown. Opening drive, that was nice. Came back in, and even though we didn't score, we moved the ball and punted from the 50. And then it was shortly thereafter he gets his ankle injury, and it was frustrating because I thought he was playing really good football for our team, and we were set to move the ball and have a really good night all in all. And so when he went down, that was tough, and we were left to wanting one of the remaining backups to step up and have a good game so we could win the football game.
Just far more efficient, it seemed like, when he was in. So what is his status for this week now? So
he had on site, they had an x-ray machine, and he had the x-ray of the ankle. It was negative, so it was good news, no break.
Yeah.
The structural damage is all in, structure is all intact, so no damage structurally speaking. He's undergoing an MRI today, and we will see the result of that. But he feels good about it. Sash feels there's a chance, so let's see where he's at if he can get on the field in the next day or two so he can play Saturday.
We'll talk about the two guys behind him, because Joe Gray came in, and with all the great things he's done moving forward, it seemed like he took a step back in that game, and you never really can be fully prepared as a third-string quarterback to come in with Malik. So they both made mistakes, but what was your evaluation?
They did. It wasn't our night at the backup quarterback spot. We didn't play to the level that we need to, and Joe got a fair majority of reps for a backup quarterback during the week, and less than 50%, but got some work. And so we tried to call plays that he was familiar with that we had executed during the week. And that's life as a backup quarterback. You have to be ready when your number's called. But over the big picture, he's gotten good quality work throughout camp and the first two games. So we need to answer the call at that position. And when that wasn't working out to my knowledge of what I had seen and viewed, I decided to make a change and go with Malik. And it is tough coming in as a third guy.
Sure.
He did do some things that came out and made some plays, but also there was a lot left out there that not taken advantage of, and thus I think it showed up most in the third down conversions. Those weren't all long yardage. Those were manageable third downs that we failed to convert.
Well, Coach, it looks like, though, that game is broken down to two plays, the pick six and the dropped snap on the punt, but really there are other things to talk about, but those two plays in particular are really costly.
They were a 14-point swing, those two plays, and that was the score. We got beat by 14. And I think if you take those out, I think it's a different game. Certainly we're competing at the very end. But even with those, Justin, I thought that we were in it. We were 8 minutes left. We have the football. We're driving. And we were, a missed opportunity from hitting Billy on wide open up the seam for to make it a 7-point game. Right. With 6 minutes left, and now we don't even have to kick the onside. We can kick off and use our timeouts. And so it didn't happen. We turned it over on downs, unfortunately, but we need to step up.
What were the adjustments at halftime in that game? Because Oregon State came out with a very different-looking defensive package, a lot of blitz, and they weren't even putting guys down.
They did. They in the first half it was more single blitzes and so forth, and we picked it up effectively. In the second half, when they came with multiple blitzes, sometimes they +1 you. They have one more blitzer than you have blockers, and so the fast answer is your quick throws, get the ball off, and a defense can pay dearly, but you have to take advantage of that. You have to identify it. You have to know who the ball goes to and make an accurate, catchable throw, and you can make the defense pay, and that changes their strategy. And we didn't execute on that.
Well, it's still got to be a little bit of a confidence boost, at least in the first half. On the road at a Pac-12 school, don't care who it is, it's hard to win.
Correct. We from the week before, my biggest challenge to the team was, hey, we get to go on the road again. And that's why I wanted it, to see how we'd respond as a result of the Air Force game. And sometimes I didn't think we didn't come out as sharp as we need to, and so forth. And we came out and played really good football the first half. And I saw OD ODK, we say offense, defense, and kicking. It seems on the kicking game caused a fumble and certainly recovered it, put our offense in great field position. So that's the kind of ball we need to play. And all in all, that was encouraging. Let's just stretch it to 4 quarters.
All right, that's San Jose State head coach Ron Caragher. We'll take a break here on Spartan Sports Report. When we return, we'll talk Fresno State.
Come enjoy a California-grown experience at Una Mas Mexican Grill. From our local produce and freshest ingredients to our unique, authentic Mexican dishes and salsa bar, Una Mas truly is California-grown. Since the first Una Mas opened in San Jose over 20 years ago, we've worked hard to use the freshest local ingredients to make the dishes you love. Because when we care this much about our food, everything is going to taste better, naturally. Una Mas Mexican Grill. We taste better.
Some things are not what they appear to be. Other things are exactly what they appear to be. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. As aggressive as it looks. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
I don't think there's any competition between me and you. No competition.
Rivalry week comes early to San Jose. Be there when the Spartans take on Fresno State Saturday, September 26th at 7:30. Tickets and mini plans are available now by visiting sjsuspartans.com.
Welcome back on Spartan Sports Report, continuing to talk with San Jose State head coach Ron Caragher as we preview the rivalry game here, Coach. Early in the year for the rivalry game, though, isn't it?
Yeah, unusually early. Usually the last game of the year is second half. So yeah, it's but gotta be ready, gotta play it because it's one we'll always remember being a big rival.
Do you see players kind of get amped up a little more so for this game because of the rivalry?
You do. You throw the records out, whether a team was undefeated or not. You play the game how it should be played, and guys do bring all that they have. And it's one game you definitely want to look back and say you left it all on the field.
Getting back into conference play, too, is already a second game for San Jose State. This will be the first for Fresno State, but even more important.
Very important that we get back on track. You want to get back on the winning track and get back in the conference race. So our guys are very encouraged by that and excited.
Hard to kind of get a read on them, especially after some injuries to the quarterback position for them. If they have games against Utah, Ole Miss, it's really tough to judge when you play those powerful teams.
Right.
And now at the quarterback position, kind of unknown at this point.
Correct. You look at the schedule, they've played 2 really top teams in Ole Miss and Utah, top 25 ranked teams. And the quarterback position is out there. And maybe how teams viewed us prior to this game coming up, even now with Kenny's situation, they don't know. We don't know who's going to be their quarterback. And both guys have played and done things effectively. I don't know the severity of injuries or whatnot off the field, but I do know they have 2 good quarterbacks that we have to be respectful of and play well against.
Well, it's been put out there that Virgil's out for the season with an injury, and Greenlee has had some internal problems with the organization. Do you still prepare for both of them? And if not, who's the third guy you could possibly look at?
Yeah, I think you prepare for both until you understand fully that one player's out, and then you prepare for the one, anticipating him playing. And then I think the third quarterback is a transfer from West Virginia. And you have to dig around, try and find out all you can, about a guy who hasn't necessarily seen the field. But definitely, our guys will do that and be prepared. And whoever it is, it might be a guy who's never played, a true freshman we didn't know of, and we're going to have to quickly adjust and make those calls on the run.
And then Martez Waller, the running back, one of probably the best in the Mountain West Conference, but he's a dynamic player, isn't he?
He is. He's very tough to bring down. He's thick. He rushed the ball effectively against us last year, and he's a good running back, one of the better ones in the league, as you mentioned.
Well, also with their defense facing the 2 top 25 teams, it's kind of hard to get a grasp on them as well, but they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
They do. They do a nice package of 3 down and the variety of blitzes that come with that. And the good news for us, it's not unlike the previous 2 weeks. We played 3 down teams, a 3-4 scheme. And so I think our guys have a feel, although there's the intricacies of the blitzes and pressure packages that they put together that are different somewhat, but the overall structure is similar similarity. I think that could help our offense in the trenches, identifying and targeting.
Coach, talk about your run defense against Fresno State. They're not really a run-first type team. With the last two teams, Air Force and Oregon State, have the dynamic players that they do on the run defense. Is it a little bit different coming into this game?
Yeah, I think they're a very balanced attack. They are a true spread zone read team, and whereas I think Air Force you could categorize as triple option, you could categorize Oregon State as a spread run option type team, mix in some throws, but really they love it when that guy runs with the ball. I don't think the Fresno State by design wants the quarterback to run the ball as much as we saw last week. Now he'll pull it if you buy into the zone run game to the back, and he'll pull it out the back door and run it. But I think they want to have a balanced attack, run and pass.
All right, that's San Jose State head coach Ron Caragher. Go get him this week, Coach.
Thank you, Justin.
More on Spartan Sports Report when we return.
With millions of businesses all in one place, the YP app can help you do pretty much anything. But can it get you to the moon? You'll need a space helmet. YP can do that. You'll need the highest rated hardware stores. Check. YP even has a cheap gas finder, which is perfect for longer trips. The even more powerful, so much more than a search engine Yellow Pages. YP can do that.
Come enjoy a California-grown experience at Una Mas Mexican Grill. From our local produce and freshest ingredients to our unique authentic Mexican dishes and salsa bar, Una Mas truly is California-grown. Since the first Una Mas opened in San Jose over 20 years ago, we've worked hard to use the freshest local ingredients to make the dishes you love. Because when we care this much about our food, everything is going to taste better, naturally. Una Mas Mexican Grill. We taste better.
Welcome back here on Spartan Sports Report. That does it for this week's episode. Once again, San Jose State takes on the rival Fresno State Bulldogs this Saturday, September 26th. Kickoff, 7:30, pregame show on 1590 AM KLIV and the Spartan Radio Network beginning at 7 o'clock. Tickets are available by calling 408-924-7589 or visiting sjsuspartans.com. Thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you next time.